let's fire up Jaguars cam right now for the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Jack Del Rio, joining us here on our live coverage from New York City. Coach Del Rio, I'd love to get your thought process behind the drafting of Blaine Gabbert a couple nights ago.
Well, hey, Rich, good talking to you. Well, we were excited when we saw him, come down and go past San Francisco and then Tennessee. We saw for the first time a real opportunity to be able to acquire what we think is a franchise quarterback. We were able to get a deal done finally with Washington and moved into the 10th spot and selected him, and we're very excited to have him.
So how do you see him fitting in? Is this still David Garrard's team to quarterback?
Well, it is going into camp, and certainly we anticipate that David would be able to hold off a talented young player, but we do recognize he is a talented young player. And anytime you take a guy this high, he's going to play at some point. It's up to the veteran to hold him off. And so we think we have a really good situation in that Blaine doesn't have to play right away. But, we really believe that his presence will either elevate David to a level that will be even beyond what he's been able to do, which has been pretty darn good, or ultimately, Blaine would play. But the result is the Jaguars get great quarterback play, and that's what we're looking for.
Hey, Coach, it's Mike, and congratulations on the franchise quarterback. And my question is, a couple years ago, you guys drafted Derek Cox out of William & Mary, turned into a pretty good corner. This year, as we get into day 3, a couple defensive backs that not a lot of people know about, Prozinski and Isaac. Can you give us a snapshot, a scouting report of those two kids?
Sure. Hey, Mike, love to. We're excited about both of these kids. I think, with Prozinski, we're talking about a really smart, tough, fast safety who's made a lot of tackles, had a lot of production. He probably was called to make too many tackles because a lot of balls got to him as a safety, and he liked the front line to make a few more of those plays. But very active. I feel like he's got a chance to really develop. And then the corner, Rod Isaac, out of Middle Tennessee State, we were very excited about him. We think he has a chance to come in and help us play these 3 and 4 receiver sets that we get all the time. You got to defend in our own division, with Indy and Houston primarily being teams that like to play the 3 wide sets. Give us another corner that we think can compete and help us slow those people down.
Hey, Jack, Brian Kelly here. My question for you is, as a Division II former head coach, I love seeing these Division II and III guys go, and you've done a great job. Obviously, your scouting department feels really good about Cecil Schwartz. My question is it easier for you to pull the trigger on a guy like that when you see the success that a Pierre Garçon, for example, at Indianapolis had in the NFL?
Well, yeah, first of all, congratulations on the job at Notre Dame, and best of luck going forward with that. But absolutely, Coach, we really believe that, seeing that, obviously, going against Pierre Garçon ourselves, him being in our division, and having him come out of the same school, we understand that good players can come out of those schools. I think beyond that, as a football organization with Gene Smith and our staff, we really look hard at recruiting and visiting and getting to know these players, ultimately selecting them in the draft because they're good players, not necessarily where they went to school.
Hey, Jack, Charles Davis here. I know that by the time you get to the draft, you have a plan. You guys are all in tandem and have figured it out. How heavy was the debate prior to that time about whether or not you would decide to go quarterback or go another position as close as you were to a division title last year?
Yeah, that's really not something that we do on draft day. We have those discussions leading up to the draft, and then we have a plan in place, and basically with all the preparation leading up into it, part of that is going through the what-ifs and how we'd respond and what we're going to do given different scenarios, and then we let it unfold on draft day, and we stick to our preparation and stick to our plan. And I think what you saw is an opportunity that while to go up and get Blaine, we didn't really think it was a likely scenario, but one that was covered and ultimately end up being great for us.
Coach, we appreciate the time. Congrats on being the first team in the books here at this draft, and we look forward to chatting with you down the road.
My pleasure, Rich. Good talking to all you guys.